welcome back to Shred with Ed. If you've been following along, you know we just picked up our Ford Transit van that we're going to convert for motocross and mountain biking and just the general traveling that we do. So today is part 2 of our build series. We are going to work on finishing off the floor, or at least starting it for that matter. We're going to jump around a little bit because I got to figure out what I'm doing with the air conditioner. I have to put the floor down, but before I put the floor down, I'm going to sound deaden the wheel wells, because the floor is probably going to cover this part. And then, not really a major concern, but I just want to see how it mates up to here. That way we can start test fitting dirt bikes and bikes and see how things go, but I just didn't want to load anything into the van until I had the floor protected, because I don't want to scuff up the paint and create rust. So, without further ado, let's crack open our energy drink and get started. Alright, so I'm just totally flying by the seat of my pants here, but these don't really seem to be held on by anything else much than these little pins. So I'm actually going to use a handy dandy Park Tool tire lever, see if I can work on popping these loose. Just a whole bunch of push pin connectors, so we will get that out and get all these removed so I can take the wall off. Alright, so with the wall removed, I can tell this is all that I want to sound deaden, and this looks like it's going to slide out relatively easily. I just have to finagle it around this rear air conditioner. I didn't really even want this thing to begin with, but I don't really have a choice, so I'm going to have to just take that out. Alright, so with the wheel well cover off, you can see they use some sort of batting material, which is nice. I mean, it definitely kept it somewhat quiet on the ride home, but I'm still going to go over that and try to do what we can to quiet that up. So let's figure out how to use the kill mat. Alright, so I know there's an endless amount of arguments on the internet about how much or how little sound deadening you should provide. The only thing people can seem to agree on is that for the wheel wells, you want to cover all of them. So we're going to get started with that. I'm just going to use some rubbing alcohol to clean up any grease that may be on there, and let's get started. Alright, so we are going to use kill mat. Just got it off Amazon, nothing crazy. And I'm going to have to cut it to fit all of this, which is going to be fun. So maybe I'll just do it like this. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. So let's give that a shot. Like I said, I'm not really mechanically inclined, or much of a contractor, if you will. So this is going to be pretty touch and go. Wish me luck. Now we're just rolling it out. You can see how this could become pretty labor intensive, but whatever, it's what we wanted. It's working. So I bought different sized rollers, and I'm figuring, to help get in the grooves of things, to really make sure I have a good seal, would be really helpful. This one with the dimples seems to do a better job at flattening it out, so let's keep using this guy right here. Alright, so I've employed some cheap labor. You know, do the grunt work for me while I figure out how to cut and place all this stuff. Sounds more solid for sure. Alright, so the wheel wells are done. I'm going to take all the parts off. Well, take all the parts out. So I have a nice clean working space. I'm going to get these wheel wells back on. And then we're going to figure out what we're going to do to the floor. Get in there. Grab the piece and start rolling it. Alright, so the floor is situated. I probably should have took the cargo hooks out first. Because there's one in the way over there and there's definitely one in the way over here. So let me get a ratchet for that. It feels so much quieter in here already though.
Yeah.
Alright, so test fitting it. I already notched out by the air conditioner. That totally freehand, didn't take any measurements, and it's actually not terrible. Right there, I think I gotta trim some more away, and it should be okay because the screw holes aren't really lining up. But this is just a mat. It doesn't really do anything, but it feels pretty firm already.
That's what she said.
And the bottom is like a foam material, so at least it'll give me some sort of insulation, sound deadening-ish. I think I gotta pick that plastic piece off and try to see if I could get the floor underneath that first, but so far so good. Okay, so I got the floor in. It's really cheap, just van tread, bed rug type material, but it should work just for now. I'm actually getting a harder layer from an upfitter that I'm going to put over it too. And I'm just going to put the OEM trim on, which after realizing how expensive it was with all the screws that don't come with it, I probably would have just gotten an aftermarket one.
So as I said earlier, I was going to jump around a little bit. I wanted to get the floor down before finishing the sound deadening, just so I had a surface to work off of. Like I said, I've been trying to really prevent scratching the paint in the floor so rust wouldn't start. But from there it was pretty easy. You know, it's very laborious, but having the different size rollers really helped, and I just carefully took my time to put sound deadening material in all the spaces that I needed to fill. I figured it was easier to work left from right and right to left by laying out all the pieces first and then rolling it on. This took me a little while, I'm not going to lie, but I think the end result is going to be great. I've noticed a lot of the rattling sound has gone away, and the van just seems a lot quieter. And this is before I've even insulated it. As far as insulation goes, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm really leaning more towards having sound deadening be the main cause for insulation. I'm not going to be camping in this thing in the middle of the winter, so I'm not too worried about actual thermal insulation.
Alright, well, we have finished. I can't wait to get the second floor because that'll actually bring this up by about another ½ inch. And then I'm thinking I might want to glue this down, but might not really have to. Just have a nice floating floor. Put the wall panels back on after sound deadening behind it. gotta be honest, it really reduced the echo in here. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember when I first bought the van from the last video, I was going back and forth from here to here, and it was much quieter, but I want to test fit the bikes. I don't really know what to do here, so let's put that down. All right. So this is going to be straight up and down, obviously like that. Got the bike in here just to see how that's going to look. Maybe if I want to just like do something quick, I could do like a little rack system here to hold the wheels down or chalk them in place. I still have plenty of clearance back here, which is fantastic, because my plan here is to build a wall up to just past the front fender, like right here, and have it come back a little bit so I have a shelf in the cab or the van. And I really think this is going to work. So I'm stoked. I mean, how could I not be? I got my dirt bike inside my van. But yeah, no, this is a pretty good visual about how everything else is going to look. And I'm actually really happy I ended up getting a crew van, because it's going to make the car feel just more like an SUV, or, you know, something more daily drivable. But this is something really exciting for me. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching this one video. Stay tuned. Next, we're probably going to insulate and then look into building the wall. But yeah, lots more in store for this. Thanks.